Once again, thank you guys for coming to the Truth Show. I appreciate each and every one of you guys for coming on the show. If you guys want to introduce yourself, you're more than welcome. Today's topic of the Truth Show is called "Why Do Women Think Their Kitty Cat is Good When Their Man is Sleeping with Bill?" Um, Everybody, you guys can introduce yourself while we got time.
Hello,
Miss Harris or anybody,
Okay.
anybody can go first.
hello everyone.
We'll start with me. Okay, this is Lean, and
No free plug. I just want to throw that out there.
hey Mally, that was real disturbing to him. I apologize, Ron. A million times, Ron. I'm sorry.
Get that money, get that money.
I mean, that's it. That's how it is. But Ron don't understand, Mally, that I'm an author too. So I do what I do. But listen, so I'm Erlene, better known as Lean. Very oriented person as far as what's going on with society. I'm definitely I'm a motivator and an advocate of a lot of things. So I just like to have fun. I like to talk, and here I am.
Okay. All right, Diamond, what's your go ahead and introduce yourself, Diamond.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Diamond Peace Bradley. Just around the way girl, stay to myself. Try to do what I do. Business owner. I have my own cleaning company. So if you need some cleaning business, holler at your girl.
I just said about the free plug, man.
I know.
Get that money. Get that money.
Yeah, I couldn't resist. Just here to pump you some knowledge and keep it 100.
All right, go ahead, Marlon.
Yeah, I'm just your ordinary Southeast superhero, man.
I know
That's
that's
it. I
right.
just go out here, try to support the community, enlighten people on what's really going on out here. Because we always hear, who got shot, who got killed, but we don't really never know what's going on, with the government and what they got planned. So I just mostly been trying to enlighten people on that and try to protect the kids. A lot of stuff that been thrown at them through the media and through social media. So that's what I'm here for, man. We just gonna have a good conversation, good topic today, and there's always love on this end.
Yes. Nothing but love and respect. All right, so I'm gonna open up the floor.
When
So
y'all getting feedback, you might want to hit everybody mic, hit mute one at a time so we can see who it is.
it ain't Diamond. I think it's not you, is it, Miss Harris?
Nope, because I don't even have.
Oh, I don't even hear it now.
Is it me? No, it ain't me.
Yeah, I don't hear it no more. But the first
Diamond
question
Beach.
is that
It is you, Mally.
nah
Because I hear it tapping when you.
Mine's mute. I ain't even got my mic on.
yeah,
Okay.
so it got to be somebody else.
Let me mute mine as well.
All right. So the first question of the day is to open up the floor. Once again, I thank y'all for coming on the Truth Show. Also, the first question is that we have a lot of men, not all, some that have infatuation for the opposite sex or the same sex rather. So I got Diamond on here to clear things up because I know Diamond, good friend, very respectful. But also the question still stands that why are men running to the transgender or the homosexuals that they call? Why are they running to that side of the town? Diamond, you want to open up the floor, open up the answer with that? There you go. Go ahead, talk. Talk, Diamond.
You can hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. Well, first, let me bring some clarity to that. You can say this because not only men transgender over, women transgender over as well. So just to bring light, it can be man to man or woman to woman. So those of you that don't know, we do have a lot of transgender women that's in society that's comfortable in their own skin too. But I'm here to bring some clarity and to enlighten a lot of people. I feel that people run to the same sex because it's more of a comfort zone than anything from my personal experience. But that's just only one side of the spectrum. There are a lot of different sides that you can elaborate on. Some people do it out of fear. Some people do it out of experimentation. So it's a lot of different avenues. For me, um, like I said, from my personal experiences, I found that a lot of people that know of me or have known of me was more comfortable with it because of who I am and how I carry myself as a person. So it's like I said originally, this topic can go on and on and on forever because I'm quite sure when other people start talking, you'll see that some things are similar, but a lot of things are different. But again, for me, it's more of a biological makeup. Like they say, men are born with the X and Y chromosome, unlike the women. And a lot of men try to suppress their feminine sides, or they don't try to relate to it more. Then you have some people that can relate to it more than others. Then you have that few that's like dead smack in between. So I'm trying to see how am I going to approach this because I don't want to take too long over the whole conversation. I want everybody's feedback because I can just probably piggyback on what other people may say as well. But for me personally, I will say this is the first point I want to make. For me, when I first started, what made me interested in the same sex, because it was something that I wasn't dealing with, I would say, and it was something that I was not identifying with. I never suppressed anything. I just wasn't identifying with it. You know, once I took the time to find out, you know, at the age of 27, to find out, you know, which direction I wanted to go in, I took a year and a half to soul search. But once I realized which direction I wanted to go in, I found out why. And as I went back, men has been coming on to me since I was 7. Can you hear me?
But
Yeah.
Diamond, that's something right there. As far as when the, when they start coming on to you as a kid that's growing up and this situation is happening, how did it make you feel as a child? Because once that happens, it goes into a whole different level now. How
It
does that
does.
make? How did it make you feel though?
Um, at first I didn't know what it was at first, but you know, when I became like 9 and 10, you know, I did tell, you know, adult figures that was in my life, my mother, my father, you know, my aunts, my uncles. But you know, back in the 70s and in the 80s, you know, that was stuff that was swept up under the rug. You know, don't talk about it, it'll go away.
Hmm.
You know, and like I would say, I would consider myself a rare um person from that whole situation because you know I just went on about it. You know, I was always active in the community. I was always active with, you know, my peers. You know, I was always athletic, so I never really paid any attention. But as I got older in my early and mid 20s, you know, I start realizing that, I mean, like right now today, men are overly nice to me. They always
Hmm.
have been. Women has always been like aggressive, like forceful, very rude to me.
So, do you think they feel intimidated by you by with
A
the
lot of them,
men?
a lot of the women that I've come in contact with, well, let me say a lot of the females, Because a woman can't be intimidated by me. You know, and my classification of a woman is someone like my mother, someone that's comfortable in their own skin, someone that knows who they are, where they're going, has some sense of direction. You got some people out here that has no clue of where they're going, who they are, what they are, anything. Those are the ones that will be intimidated easily by anybody.
Wow.
Not just me, but
Wow.
I know me. I'm a alpha female. I always will be. I would die that way. You know, I'm aggressive, ambitious, outgoing, outspoken, and when you can feel that when you're around a alpha female or another alpha, you can feel it. It's a presence, and that's always been intimidating for other people that does not have that same characteristic. And to piggyback on, like I said, I never wear that many clothes, so less has always been better for me. So the more skin I expose, the more negativity and the more aggression I get from women.
Wow. Miss Harris, you got anything you want to say?
So let me say this. First of all, and when you're talking about relationships, relationships is based upon how you feel, or how I feel, or how Diamond feels, or how Mally feels about a person. Okay? Heterosexual, homosexual. It's about how you feel about an individual, which is an offspring from how you feel about yourself. Okay? So I'm saying that to say that the love, let's just say Mally, the love that I give to Mally, if Mally is my significant other, is the love that I have in myself, is the love that I want in return, and that's why I give it. Okay? So let's start right there. Now, when we're talking about
Amen.
a feeling that's inside and identifying with who we are, whether homosexual or heterosexual, that's something that you start early on in your life. You may not be aware of it, but it's something that's brewing in you. And I don't want to say brewing because that's like a beer, but it's something that's developing inside of you as you're coming up. Once you start to identify with that feeling, then you can outwardly express who you are. A lot of times back in the day, see, homosexual has been going on from the beginning of time. And a lot of us don't want to understand that. A lot of us don't want to admit that, but homosexuality has been going on from the beginning of times. And if you go back to a long time, you will see, watch the movie Game of Thrones, and you will see for a long time, homosexuality has been building. You understand? And so a lot of times we hide that in the closet because we're fearful of what one may say about us. You understand? Because we were taught that that's not a natural thing. But the way you feel about somebody is natural, regardless whether it's a girl versus a girl or a man versus a man. You feel the way you feel about a person is a natural thing. Regardless if I feel that way towards another woman, there are a lot of people that, and I'm not going to call them homosexuals or gays or anything like that, but there are a lot of people, a man can look at another man and be like, damn, he jive, you know what I'm saying? But he's not going to outwardly come clean with that because he's in fear of what society is gonna, that burden that society is gonna put upon him. And me, honestly, and that's why you have a lot of people that's in the closet, because a lot of people are gonna shun you for feeling what's already embedded and deep in your soul. Okay, now a lot of us say, though, that's not right. That's not the godly way. What's not godly about how you feel? Your feelings is how you feel. So, I mean, you can't say, oh, that's not godly because you like another woman or because you like another man. This is how I feel. This is my feelings. And you're asking me to put my feelings in this bottle and close it up and never open it up, which in turn causes a lot of problem because now I have this in me and I can't say, hey, Mally, listen, I like women, and this, because I'm afraid that Mally is gonna shun me. You understand, or not be. Hey, Lean, pick up the phone and call me, and that's something that we have to get out of. We have to get out of. It's just like racism. We say that people shouldn't be racist. You understand? People shouldn't be homosexuality. You have to allow people to be themselves. Miley spoke on this the other day when he was talking about Dwayne Wade's son, and wanting Dwayne Wade's son to suppress what's in him. When you suppress something that's in you, all you're doing is just you're harboring it, and it's going to eventually come out. It's going to come out very aggressively, or it's going to, at some point, it's going to come out. So why not deal with what you see? And I commend Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union for, being a part of their sons or daughter, however they want to be, because they're saying at some point, I can't change which was deep down in your soul. I cannot change that. But what I can do is to help you get educated about what's going on in your life. And that's where we have to go. We want to place judgment so much on gays and transgenders and lesbians, instead of sit back and saying, that's how that person feels. I could say it's wrong for me to love you, Ron, because we're heterosexuals. Or, if I were gay, I could say that about you. Am I wrong for feeling that way? Oh, I mean, it's just like back in the day when we used to see interracial relationships. Why is that white girl? Why is that sister with that white boy? Why is that? We have choices, and what we feel inside, our feelings are inside of us. We should be allowed to express them, regardless if you're gay, transgender, heterosexual, homosexual. I don't care what you are. That's something that we have to learn how to deal with and identify. And that's why more people are coming out now, because they're no longer fearful of identifying or expressing who they are. And they shouldn't be. They should be allowed to express whoever they are. Diamond, express who you are, if that's who you are, because I can't, whatever you feel, I cannot change that. I can't find that happiness for you. You have to find your happiness. So if you identifying with what you're feeling in your soul is going to cause you to be outwardly happy, then be who you are. That's your choice. Nobody should judge. I don't like the whole judging thing, because you don't know what friend you can find in me, whether I'm gay, homosexual, heterosexual, bisexual, whatever. Don't lose the person that I am because you want to judge me about who I am. Because like a lot of times, and I know a lot of times, like Mally said something the other day, we get upset because, we're saying this child is only 2 years old or 5 years old. We shouldn't, encourage him. Listen, identify with him. Help him to identify who he is, because you're not going to change it. That's one thing you're never going to be able to change. If a person in the inside is feeling or having homosexual tendencies, you're never going to be able to change that. Never. So allow them to be whether it's your child, my child, Mally's child, allow them to be whoever they're going to be. identify with whoever they're going to, their identity, and you can express to a person whether you feel is right or wrong. But when I feel something about a person, that's just what I feel, and I can't change that. You can't change it, and Molly can't change it. You understand what I'm saying? So that's where that homosexuality comes from. It's what they feel. That's what I'm attracted to. If that's what I'm attracted to, then let me be attracted to what I'm attracted to.
Okay.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Definitely appreciate that. So what do you think, Molly?
Uh, I mean, I just think, like she said, that's the way she feel, and a lot of people got to get out of their feelings and understand just because you feel a way don't make it right. I got people that's on YouTube right now, like I showed you earlier, Ron, that feel like they're a tiger. It's kids out here that feel like they Superman, but at the end of the day, we ignore that. But if he feel like he want to be a girl, that's okay. It's kids out here that want to shoot guns and kill people. They want to be thugs and gangsters. Why not encourage that? That always be my question whenever I hear that. When people say, well, he feel like he want to be a little girl, we should. He 8 years old. He shouldn't be thinking about being in a relationship with a man or being in a relationship with a woman. Even when your child young, I got a daughter. I don't want her even thinking about little boys right now. She shouldn't even be thinking about a relationship right now. They too young. So that's when I be talking about when it comes to the kids. A lot of people, they just think that it's just like, oh no, don't let that little boy. You could tell most times if the kid gonna be gay or not. But that don't mean you should encourage him, because before this became cool, this was a mental issue. Back in the day when people decided, oh, I think I'm a boy, but you was clearly born a girl, or I think I'm a girl and you was clearly born a boy, you was considered a mental patient. But now we encourage that. It's a lot of people out here who feel like they should get high all day, every day, and just be crackheads and bums. But we encourage them to do something different. You wasn't born to be this. You was born to be a king. You need to get on your feet. But if he wanted to be a woman and he wanted to dress up and be a woman, it'd be okay. I'm just saying it's a mental issue, and we really got to get to it. If you're an adult and you grown and you already decide, like the guest that was here, she said she was like 27, 28, and she decided to be her truth. But something happened to her when she was 8 years old. A man touched him, and he tried to tell his aunt, tried to tell his uncle. That mean he didn't feel comfortable about that. He wasn't okay with that. You ain't telling nobody if you're okay with it. It's a lot of things kids do that they don't tell they parents. I bust a lot of windows out. We done flat tires and everything that my parents just didn't know when I was a kid, and I ain't care for them to know. But if something happened to me and I was just out and about and I told my parents, that mean I want them to know. That mean I feel like they should be concerned about what just happened. Basically, he was concerned. He was 8 years old. A man touched him a way that he didn't like, and he was concerned. Not only that nobody helped him, he ended up being who he is today. That affected him later on in life, and nobody see that. But now today, we encouraging kids to be. It's okay to wear a dress. It's okay to, but why did y'all say this how women dress? Why did y'all tell a boy and all us as we grow up, hey, this how women dress, this how men dress, this how men carry themselves? The generation before me, this what we was taught, so we passing it on to our kids. And now at this generation, if you try to pass on the same message, it's considered, oh, you hating on the LBGTQ community, or you hate gays. No, I don't hate gays. I just like kids being able to be kids. I would have hate being young and somebody telling me that, oh, a kid right here, it should be okay with him wearing the dress. Don't nobody pick on him. Don't nobody laugh. You getting laughed out in elementary school. I heard gay people call people gay that wasn't gay. I heard of gay people call people faggots, or tell people you more faggy than me. Like faggot used to be just a way of saying you soft, but they weren't really never really no disrespect to a faggot. It could be two straight heterosexual men talking, be like, nigga, you're a faggot. And it won't be that, it could be a faggot right there and laugh at them times. They'll laugh like, ah. But now today they like, oh, Brogan on the blogs. Oh, he should be banned from Facebook, Instagram. He shouldn't. It just they gone too far when they got it with the kids, and that's just me. I don't see how D Wade did that to his son at 8 years old. If he went to his parents and told him that, hey mom, I like to be a princess, and they encouraged him to be something, and he wouldn't have been D Wade. I'm just saying, at 8 years old, kids don't know what they want to eat. They don't know what they're going to wear. If he said, hey, mom, I just want to dress myself today, I'm going to dress myself every day. You won't allow them to do it. Mom, I don't want to take a bath for the whole school year. You're not gonna just say, oh, let him be him. That's how he feel. He feel this how he want to be. He feel like he want to be dirty. Kids don't like taking baths. You got to make them get in the water. You got to make them eat sometimes. Stop playing that video game. Sit down and eat. But now y'all just saying it's okay for kids to just make decisions to have a sex change. They gone too far. And if anybody agree with that, I just don't understand how. Now, if you grown and you have a sex change, so be it. You grown, you do what you want. But when you 8, 9, 10 years old, you shouldn't be allowed to get a sex change. You shouldn't be allowed to have a boyfriend, have a girlfriend. I don't care what sex you is. You shouldn't be encouraging your child to even be in a relationship. You should be encouraging them to find themselves, who they are, and just being smarter. Get smarter in school. What toys you like, but that's just my point of view. That's how I look at things, Ron. I just think people need to stop saying, that's just how they feel inside, because at the end of the day, just because you feel inside don't make it right on these kids. Like, I don't know how our guest felt inside when he was 8 before he got touched, but we know how he feel inside after the fact. Somebody, I think people really need help. If you really think you something that you wasn't born obviously to be, the creator, I don't care what, if you believe in something, God, Jesus, Muhammad, it don't matter. I know you believe in some creator. If you was born here with a penis, then obviously you was here to have sex with a woman. If you was born here with a vagina, you was obviously here to have sex with a man. If you choose to do different in your lifetime, that's cool. But don't say God made a mistake or the creator made a mistake and I feel like I'm somebody. That's because you might was a man in your past lifetime. I really feel like that. That's why some of these people out here feel like they still a woman and a man, because they might was a woman in their past lifetime. They might was a man in their past lifetime. But at the end of the day, that's not who you are right now. A car gonna always be a car. Don't matter if I feel like it's a truck. I can be on my bike. It's plenty of times I used to put the jug in the back of my wheel to make it sound like a motorcycle. And I feel like I was on a motorcycle. Just because I feel like it's a motorcycle did not make it a motorcycle. That's all I'm saying. We got to go out of feelings and what's real and what's not. That's my thing. I hope I ain't offend nobody though, but that's just my feel from it.
You didn't offend anybody, Mally, but I'm gonna say this to you, and just on some points that you brought up. And here's the thing: there's all different types of reasons why people choose to be who they are. And choosing who you are, it's a developmental stage, okay? And it's a process, just like as with anything. When you come out of the vagina, out of your mom's womb, you are a baby. Once you become a baby, you start to crawl. Once you start to crawl, later you begin to walk. After you begin to walk, you learn how to talk. It's a developmental stage, okay? And I'm saying that on the basis of when you are growing, and we're going to use D. Wade's son, because I think a lot of people feel like they want to ridicule that young man for him choosing to be, and he's comfortable. He's very comfortable in his identity, and so are his parents. And if his parents, and what I'm hearing you say, Mally, is again, if Zion comes to you and says, "Hey, Dad, I want to be, I'm not comfortable with this whole boy thing. I feel more comfortable, in my feminine ways. I'm in touch with my feminine ways. I really want to, outwardly become a girl." And you say to him, "Oh, you 8 years old. Put that in here and put a cap on it and don't, and hold that back." Honestly, what you're doing is you're hindering that person, you're hurting that person, because they're going to be who they want to be regardless. You're not going to stop them. And
I
that's
wouldn't
my
say that to my child, though. That's your answer for me. I wouldn't say that to my child. Now, you asked me what would I say to my child if he came to me. I would let him know he got feminine energy in him. All men do, and sometimes men might tap into the energy. That don't mean you have to. But I show you this how men live and this how men survive out here. Like, I would show you men ways. I would be the example. But obviously, he grew up more with Gabrielle Union. He watching her get her nails done. He's seeing her wear purses and stuff like shop at the mall. That's the only, and he 8 years old. If he went in there and D Wade right now and said, Dad, I want to kill people, what you think D Wade would have said? Okay, we're gonna figure this out. I'm gonna get you some Uzis. We're gonna work on that. We're gonna let you tap into it. Or you would think he'd have grabbed it, like you said, and put a cap on it. He'd have put a cap on it, but he still would have told him, like, son, people don't do that. You can't just go out here harming people. That's a video game you playing. You go out here and you harm people, you will go to jail. You know, it's things kids always, it's 8 years old. That's what you say, it's steps. It takes us 12 years
But
to get to
it's
college.
apples
Why
and
only take
oranges,
you 8
Mally.
years to decide to get a sex change?
Right.
You know, if
But
that's
we're
the
talking
case,
about apples and oranges. We're not talking about him changing his identity. It don't hurt nobody but him. Now, when he says, I'm going to go out here and I want to be a killer, now that hurts everybody. So
you
then,
telling
yes, we
me
have
he
to.
can go to school and not get picked on by them other kids? He had to deal with that all the way through elementary, middle school, all the way
But
through high
Mally,
school.
that's what
Then the
he's choosing.
transsexuals getting killed out here because they're not telling men that they are men. That they are men. So you
That's
gotta.
been
It's a
going on
lot that
forever,
come
Mally.
with it. He just hearing the good. It's a lot of bad that come. It ain't easy being a tranny. You know, it might seem like that to some of these people. It can't be easy. Every time you turn around, one of them getting killed or getting beat up for senseless for no reason. You know, and all that comes with it. Is you gonna tell him that comes with it? You know, he's 8. You gotta think of that. It take us 12 years to get to college. An 8-year-old can't walk in a liquor store and say, "Hey, can I get a bottle?" He only harming himself. Why should we care? Can I smoke a jack? Can I hit that weed? No, he can't. But we keep letting kids decide that they can't make decisions like that. I don't see a sex change. It's okay for if they said the kid want to be gay and he wear clothes, but a whole sex change at 8, he ain't even been on this earth long enough to decide what school he want to go to next year. What even if he like Nike anymore, even if he like basketball, football, baseball, it's not 8 years old. That's all I'm saying. 8 years old. D Way, he had his time to pick. Gabby, she had her choice. Even his mother didn't agree with it. You know, they went against hers. I mean, I'm just saying, at 8, I don't think no kid should. He can feel that way all he want, but to have the decision, I'm not mad at the kid at all. He should feel the way he feel. If they agree to throw more gasoline on it, and he go through with it, he gonna be the poster boy for gay people. You know, that's okay. But for the parents to allow that, to do that to their child at 8 years old, to know how much attention that to draw, to know all the drama he had to go through. Like us, we even having this conversation. We shouldn't be talking about an 8-year-old want to have a sex change. That shouldn't even make sense. Like, he was all over the media. He's got to still go to school. He got to still be a kid. He or she, whatever he want to be, he got to still do that. So I just think they should have let him hold off and still talk to him. But the
But
making a
Mally,
sex change, he never experienced the other side. He never even felt the male energy side. Probably. I don't know. For a child, you wouldn't let an 8-year-old be a serial killer. You wouldn't let him do anything else. You wouldn't let him believe he's Superman, Batman for all his life. You wouldn't let him do none of these things, but
Well,
you allow him.
does him
well,
being gay, Mally, does him being gay or having his sex change, does that harm you?
okay.
That's what I'm
Let's get
saying.
back.
Him drinking liquor don't harm me neither, but you won't
Right.
allow that.
But let's get back to the topic because I don't want us to get thrown off what the
Okay.
topic is. You know, I was sitting here quiet because everybody has something good to say.
Yeah.
So the topic of the program is, why do women think their kitty cat is good and your man is sleeping with Bill? Now I don't know why Diamond jumped off or he had a phone call or
There was
whatever,
a
but
connection.
at the
Confident.
same time, this is a topic that needs to be talked about because you got a lot of men that's down low and they are sleeping with men and they're taking these diseases back to their wife or girlfriend because this is just me speaking. It's not, it's not what I'm trying to just throw out there, but this is just my thinking. Well, my decision or my conclusion is that the reason men go to download men because less drama. They don't got to worry about them getting pregnant, uh, and they got to know their secret is safe with them. So they still want to hold that thug life mentality to get the girls that they need. But on the other side of town, they love and Bill because why? Because Bill let them do what they want. Bill give them money. And the sad note is that to lay with another man is definitely an abomination to God. But at the same time, we as human beings, we want to do what we want to do. We want to think what we want to do, and we're going to act on what we want to do. So the thing about it is that we got to look at both sides of it. You got men that's taking these diseases back to these women. And these are women don't realize they have a disease and they break up with somebody and they go sleep with somebody else. This is how it's transmitted. So my whole thing is that you got a lot of transgender men out here that's not telling men their sexuality because why? They got the big boobs, the inner tube in their breast, newspaper in their backside, and they got a ton of makeup to hide their real features, and they got the wigs. So look how the deception goes on with this mess. And you got people that agree with it. You got people say, well, that's their life. They can do what they want to do. But at the same time, they not only think about themselves, they're putting other people in harm's way because one, they're going ahead sleeping with these men. Two, having the men knowing that these are men that they're sleeping with. So look how it's putting everybody in the innocent people in the path of their destruction because what they want to be. And now I'm not judging who you want to be. If you want to be a trans, do your thing. That's your life. You got to meet your maker and you do what you do. But the thing is, a lot of them are getting killed because of their secrecy about not telling a man who they are. For one, it's going to bruise that man's ego once that transgender go out into the neighborhood. Yeah, I slept with Ricky. Yep, and he showed in. But the thing about it is that you have to understand the innocent people that are getting pulled in their trickery. So you got a lot of men that love transgender, and you got a man that just want to get a nut off. Let's be honest about it. You got men that just want to bust a nut and don't want no ties behind it. But at the same time, this goes on in Hollywood. This been going on for eons. This is not nothing new. This is not none that just fell out of the sky and said this was going to be. But at the same time, we as human beings, we always want something to justify what we're doing. We wanted something to say, I'm right, you're wrong, you don't have no rights. So America agrees with it because you got majority of the faggots that's sitting in the White House, the Congress, the Senate, the lawyers, the judges. This is why the homosexuality is being pushed. It's because you got majority of the 95.95% of faggots that's in Congress, and they're backing these bills up. And I'm going to keep on saying faggot because while I'm trying to think of the most deepest thing I can say to you to make you realize or don't want to put my hands on to shake you like you are a man. That's how God created you. If God didn't want you to be a man, he would have gave you a vagina. So, and the backside is not made for a man to run up in. The backside is to have the dung to release itself. And the dung is to further the earth. But at the same time, we as human beings always want to be right. We never want to be wrong. We always want to be right because what I'm doing is, hey, that's my life. I can do what I want. What if God took your life? Then you won't have no life then. You just be a pile of dirt. So what I'm saying is that we as human beings, we can't judge nobody, but at the same time, we don't agree with what's being forced in our face because you can't turn on TV unless it's been jumped in our face. You can't look at a good movie unless it got some type of women laying with each other or two men laying with each other. So the thing about it is that we have dug so much deep in our filth that everything is right. You can't talk against homosexuals. You can't say what you want to say because why? They're gonna ban you, or they're gonna silence you, or they're gonna put you in Facebook jail. But at the same time, we as human beings, we are all broken. We are all has been shattered. So you have to look at the deep part of it. Why men are running with men because they're trying to hide something that they've been hurt from. They might have been touched, they might got molested as a child, and nobody never showed them how to deal with their emotions. They was never shown how to deal with or talk about it. And there's nothing wrong with going to a therapist at all. You know, I came up with that dumb mentality, man. I ain't going to see no therapist. Maybe if I would have I went to a third power to save my marriage because of my ignorance. And as human beings, we got to understand who we are. We're not the smartest people on the planet. You got animals that's smarter than us. So at the end of the day, God didn't have problems until He made us. This is where the problem came in on earth. Because you got to remember, back in the scriptures was Solomon and Gomorrah. They were sleeping with each other, and God just got tired of it and destroyed the whole city. But the thing about it is, as human beings, we have to stop and think what we're doing to this next generation. You got kids thinking they gay soon as they come out the womb, 4 and 5 and 6 years old, saying they want to be a woman. Where do they get this common sense from? Because of us? Because my child want to be gay? Hey, I'm going to promote it. At least I know what he is early. You have to be a sick individual to say that you're happy that your child is gay. You got to be some type of sick pervert person that's saying you agree with a 4, 5, 6, 7 year old telling you that they're gay. Where did he get this nonsense from? They get it from school. They get it from the cartoon. They get it from just watching TV. They get it from their parents because majority, 9 times out of 10, you got two women living in the house saying, that's my girl. Oh, that's my wife. And not looking at the repercussions of that child that's been suffered at the end because only your devious and pleasures, because you want to lay out with another woman and you got 2 or 3 kids in the house. And now this child come to you and say, mommy, I want to be gay. And what you do, because you already in your filth, in your mess, you agree with it. You caress it. You smooth it along, saying it's okay to be this way. I accept my child. Now, I want to say I had the question thrown at me. Ronnie, what would you do if your child came to you and say, Daddy, I love women? Hey, that's your life. I can't control your life, but I will not stand for your girlfriend or boyfriend to come on my house and say, Daddy, this is this is my girlfriend Lisa. You and Lisa would not be permitted in my house. You coming, but I would not subdue myself knowing that I'm against it. That's your life, what you do outside of my house realm. But this is your life. But that don't mean I gotta subject myself to it because I'm totally against it. So now my daughter would try to twist it and say, Daddy, so that means you don't love me. No, I never stopped loving you. I love you from the womb to now. I'm still gonna love you. But that don't mean I have to subject myself to your way. Those are your ways that you're trying to project on me, telling me that, hey, Daddy, hey, that's my girlfriend, Lisa. So at the end of the day, I don't have to go with it. So what do you think, Molly?
I think you made a lot of good points, but like me, I don't really get too deep, and everybody welcome to my house. Like I accept it. I don't have a child that's gay, but I got family members, and my nephew come over with his boyfriend, my niece come over with her girlfriend. It don't really bother me too much, and they grown. When we was young, I had no clue. Even had some friends that told me like, "Oh, your nephew gay." I'm like, man, stop playing my nephew. And as he
Mhm.
got older, he came out and he let us know, it wasn't easy for him, and it was because of us. We made it hard.
Mhm.
Like Shifty said, we put it in the cap, but he never came out and told us. And one thing it was a lot of boys, and it's like 25 of us, there's only like 3, 4 girls. So for him to be around the fellas, I know that had to be hard for him. But now that he out, it's all welcome moms, and we still support them and everything, but I still let them know I still don't like them suppressing this on the kids. Even when he was a kid, nobody was really encouraging him to do these things. These things he figured out on his own. He grew older, he got around like-minded people, a lot of his friends gay, and that's how he figured out, who he was. But we ain't had nobody saying, okay, it's cool, this what you want to do. We still wished and hoped that he became a man. Because I look at it like this. Let's say everybody decided they want to be with the same sex right now. What happened to the earth? If everybody right now decided, you know what, we're gonna be with the same sex, how do the earth continue on? That's all I want to know. So until
Mhm.
we can figure that out, if the earth somehow don't die off, like, well, we die off, then it just don't seem right. Now, if they can somehow find a way, a man and a man can have a baby, two women can create a child, then so be it. But till then, no, I just don't feel right. I never be, with it, but at the same time, not totally against it. I think it was a money thing. That's why back in the day, they was always against it, or people hid it, but nowadays they promote it more because they know gay people spend money. A lot of gay people got good jobs, so it's like, why, how you gonna have a movie and not have gays in it? They gonna be the ones who actually producing the movie, even sharing the movie or whatnot, or they gonna buy product. So it's just like they trying to find ways to tap into everybody. First it was the white people, then it started being the black, the young people. Now I just think this era right now is focused on the gays, get them more involved. They in every movie you see, the cartoons. Now they got them in sports. One guy, the first gay NFL player. So it's like they trying to push that narrative, and it don't, it seems like it helps the economy more. I just feel like when it comes to the kids though, let them be, because adults, they done live their life and they don't want to have kids when they get older and have their bloodline to move on, and them to have the things that they have. That's okay. But I just look at it like, if everybody decided to go gay, it won't be no human race right now. So if you can tell me it will be, explain that to me. How could it be?
Well, here's the thing, Nally, and I'm glad you said that, because this is exactly the point. Everybody will have their own choice. Everybody has their own choice in their decision. And not everybody will decide to be gay. There will be people that will want to be homosexuals. There will be people that want to be heterosexual. I just don't see where everybody, that's, to me, that's unrealistic. And then going back to something that you're saying, Ron, is, people can say all they want to. Oh, I'm gay because I was raped, or I'm gay because you're choosing to be. Don't make excuses. Being gay is what's inside of you. You understand? Ron, you said two females being in the house showing that child, that was already in that child. That's all. And again, let's go back to Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union. That's a heterosexual relationship. They didn't teach Zion to be that way. That was in his soul. That's in him. So he brought, because Ron, you said children are being brought up around that. He wasn't being brought up around that. That's something that Zion chose. He went to his parents to express outwardly how he felt about himself, herself at the time, but now himself at the time, and now herself. You understand? So that doesn't come from me teaching you how to be gay and you teaching me. It don't come from that.
And that's what I'm talking from, Ms. Hurst. Where do you think he get the idea from? To come to them with that thought. Where he
so listen to what I'm saying to you, Mally. It's a development. It's something that you feel inside. Only you gonna feel it. Not me. I can't feel what you feel. You can't feel what I feel. If I'm telling you I want to be gay, that's coming from within. Especially if it's at an early age, and it's not being, and you're being brought up in. See, a lot of times we want to use excuses because they brought up in a homosexual. No, it's that individual solely.
So you feel
that
like
it ain't got nothing to do with what you teach me or what I teach Ron. It's got something to do with. I know a situation right as we speak where there's a gay couple, two females, and they brought up two sons and a daughter in that household. And not one of those children have gay tendencies or want to be gay, or you understand what I'm saying? Because that's not in them. If it were in them, then it would come out, but it's not in them. And it's not that the fact that these two people, gay people, are impressing this upon their children. You have your own mind. I have my own mind. Ron, you have your own mind. And if I want to be gay, if that's what I feel, that's what I'm gonna do. It's not that you're teaching me that. It's not that Dwayne Wade is teaching his son that. It's just he's accepting that I can't do anything about it. The child is gonna be who he's gonna be. Whether he turns 20, I can either allow him to be who he is right now, or I can make him suppress it, He's going to turn 18 or 20, and he's going to be that way anyway, because that's what's in his soul. It's not something that I sprinkled on him, or not something that Dwayne Wade showed, because Dwayne Wade was with that child's mother before he was with Gabrielle. So he wasn't in a household where he was being taught gay or homosexuality. He wasn't. That child that grew within that child, that was within that child. Yes, granted, some people have different reasons for choosing to be with the opposite sex. I choose to be with the opposite sex because that's what I like. You understand? It's more conducive for me. Some people, because of some issues that they have, true. Some people, because that's just, what they've been taught. It's various different reasons, but for the main reason, for the main reason, that's something that wanted to come out anyway. That's something that wanted to sprout. And people look for reasons to say, oh, I wanted to come out because I was molested, or because of, that's something that's in you. That's something, I'm telling you, it's something that's in you. It's not something that I took and I sprinkled in you. It's not. It's something that's in you. And if anybody tell you anything differently, I'm telling you, like, it's not real. And a lot of times we got to get real with ourselves in order for society to understand us. We have to be real with ourselves. And that's why this boy, this child, Dwayne Wade's son, is saying, hey, I don't want you to put these restrictions on me. Don't put these restrictions on me. Because at the end of the day, Mally, at the end of the day, guess who's going to have to live with that decision? When he transformed from a boy to a girl, and at the end of the day, he's going to have to live with that. Not Dwayne Wade, not Gabrielle Union.
His brothers and them do too. Like his family.
No, you don't
might
have
change his mind.
No,
he might
listen,
fall in
Mally.
love with a girl, and then it's too late.
But you don't have to live with that. That's something that he has to live with. He has to deal with that, and he has to live with that on his own. Because he's going to come back and say, well, damn, I shouldn't have done that. He got to live with whatever decision that he makes. That's going to be solely on him.
Make that decision,
he can't. At some point, he won't be able to blame Dwayne Wade. He won't be able to blame Gabrielle Union for his choice. That's his choice. And he's gonna have to live with it. So allow him to make that choice.
He ate, Miss Hers. So you
that's okay, but
8 years old, and then later on you suffer for it. You telling me that you the reason why that happened, or you gonna blame your parents? It's your parents' fault. If for some reason your parents choose to prostitute you, or you want to be a prostitute at 8 years old,
something different, Mally.
That's what I'm saying. You keep saying something. If you decide to be a male, a female, and not a male at 8 years old, then later on in life, you decide to say, damn, because I shared a video on the show. It's a little boy who came out. He got a sex change at 12, and now he's 17, and he found a girl that he's in love with, and he want to marry this girl, but he feel like his parents destroyed his life because they let him make a decision at 12 that now he got to live with. And like you saying, that's his decision, but he don't feel like that. He feel like that's his parents' fault because he was 12 and he had no reason saying that, hey, mom, dad, this is what I want to do, and they was okay with it. Look it up. I'm gonna send you the article on it.
And they prostituted him. They got rich off of him, off that young kid. Yeah. They used that kid to their advantage. But what I was saying was that as like these transgender and people saying it's deep down inside, you are putting other people in your mess. I understand this is your life. This is decisions you make. This is what you want to do. But you're adding other people to the factor. Now, here it is. You're 12 years old. You got two adults allow a 12-year-old to make adult decisions. So you're telling me it's okay for a 12-year-old to say, mommy, I'm gay and I want my penis cut off. A 12-year-old. So how in the world, as parents, this is why I say, and I will constantly say, that just because you got a vagina, just because you got a Peter, that does not make you give the right for you to go out here and make kids, because everybody's not meant to be a parent. And only reason, now, I'm not getting off the topic, but just look at this for example. Let's look at all the welfare recipients out here that's on food stamps, that's getting a check. They don't want to have nothing to do with that child because all they want is the money. Now, the baby daddy want to be in the kid's life, but they're going to make that baby daddy life hell because why? They don't want that interfering with their money. You got parents out here that rape their kids without touching them. They rape them mentally. And the worst thing you could do, getting raped physically is damaging, but mentally, that's something going to live with you for the rest of your natural born life until you leave this earth. Let's look for examples. Let's look at Gary Coleman. Let's look at Kiki. Let's look at that's a lot of more celebrities out here. Parents use them just for one game, and that is money. So for the transgender, for a young kid to say he wants to be a female, so how much pull does that kid have in a household to tell two grown adults? And Gabrielle Union is looking like, that's not my child. Yeah, I love that child, but that for real, that's not my child. So that's Dwayne Wade and his baby mama issues, not mine, because I got my daughter. So at the same time, you gotta look at people's motives, why they do things. And at the end of the day, you have to look at it. Can't no child come and tell me they want to be gay and they only 13 or 14. There's no way you can come to me. First of all, I'm not going to yell. I'm not going to get upset, but I want to know why you feel that way. Why? Because one, the pressure of this world. Two, the pressure of the classmates. Three, pressure from you got your cousins, your nephews, nieces are gay. So you want to fit in that circle. We all did it when we was young. We wanted to be with a certain crowd because that was an in crowd. So we have to look at what we connect ourselves to. We cannot keep constantly saying that Dwayne Wade, yeah, that's a sick, perverted family member to agree with that. But at the end of the day, we have to look at it. This is nothing but spirits that we're dealing with. In no way a child, something that God created in the womb, as you as a little pebble, God is creating this child. So you're telling me God created a child to be a hermaphrodite? And then some people do tell me that you got people that's born with two sexes. They're born with two sexes. But at the
Yeah.
same time, that doesn't make that person different. But what I'm saying is transgender, they are doing so much more than females now. They are doing on Instagram, you might think it's a woman, but the whole time it's a man.
Yeah.
And now that you don't put somebody else, because you don't put somebody else in your circle with your mess. Now you don't bought an innocent person who think that you're a woman. It come to find out when it's time to go penetrate, you found out that man jump bigger than yours. Do you still hit it? Do you get upset? Or do you run? Now you get choices, but at the same time, we cannot keep accepting what the world throw at us. We have to stand our ground. We have to fight for our kids, because you got to remember, like I said before, this is all spiritual. This is all spiritual. This is not no do with no, because the parents say it's okay for you to be gay. This is all spiritual. This is all attacks from the enemy to thinking that it's okay to be gay. They did it back in the old days. So what makes
Ron,
you?
let me ask you two questions.
Okay, go ahead.
Let me ask you one question, and then I'm gonna make a comment. Earlier, you said something about sexually transmitted diseases is because of people that's homosexuals. Not all sexually transmitted. There are some heterosexual relationships where guys go out here and sleep with every girl they can sleep with, and they pass it. So don't make it like
I never said that. I never said that.
what you
All I
said.
said was, I said, look at the diseases they're bringing upon this. If these transgenders go out and sleep with another man, that's been fluids been transferred to another man, and then they go, because some of them married, some of them got girlfriends. So now they pass that fluid down to a woman that they don't care nothing about because of the heat of the
But
moment.
sexually transmitted
Disease
diseases
come
are,
from anybody. It can come
right,
from anybody.
and
But
that's
what I'm
what I
saying
want
is,
you to identify
it's
with.
more
I want
higher. It's more higher than a man and a woman catching it, because you got to remember,
I don't know.
transgender
Let me
are
say this to you, Ron.
Go ahead.
Most times when sexually transmitted diseases are coming, it's probably more than likely through a heterosexual relationship anyway. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because most gay relationships, most of them and their partner, 9 times out of 10, not gonna step outside that. You have some, because everybody got the dog in them. That's just how it is. A lot of people, we have the dog in them. But most gay relationships, they tend to stay with their partner monogamously rather than to be, here, there. Most sexually transmitted, and Google it, Mally, I know you on a computer, Google it. Most sexually transmitted diseases are coming from heterosexual people. You understand? Now, let me ask this question of you. Let me ask this question of you, okay? And we're gonna go to the left, only just for a second. When this world started, how was this world started?
I don't understand the question. It started as it was just plain dirt.
Wait a minute. So the first 2 people on this earth was who?
Adam and Eve.
Nobody really know.
Adam and Eve. Miley, you say you don't know, but you say Adam and Eve, right? Right, Ron?
That's what we was told.
That's what we was told, Adam and Eve.
So
if it was Adam and Eve, how did this world replenish? Adam and Eve had what? 2 sons, Abel and Cain. So if Adam and Eve had 2 sons, Abel and Cain, how did this world replenish? How did this world populate?
Everybody hit moms. Did you ever see a dog?
And that's what I'm saying.
With his mom's dog?
So we sit here, we talk about the Bible this and the Bible that. And it's an abomination. Wait a minute, Mally. It's an abomination for a guy to be gay. It's an abomination for a girl to be gay. Was it an abomination for Cable and Ain to sleep with their mother?
Yes. But it's still a woman.
And so if that's the case, why are we all here?
I'm saying that's
the case, why are we here?
Though. That's the Bible law. I don't believe in that stuff. That stuff was created to rule and control
man.
People.
Created by who? Say it, Mally.
By man.
Oh, exactly. Stories, so a lot of stuff that we sit up here, we try to beat a dead horse about, and we try to judge people about. No, it's some judgment that's got to go way back from day one. We got to go way back from day one. And that's why I'm saying to you, I will never judge a gay person. I will never, because at the beginning of this time, guess what? Either Cain and Abel dumped on moms. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not trying to be funny, but I'm just saying, either Cain and Abel dumped on moms, you understand what I'm saying? Club moms up, or moms kept getting hit by Eve kept getting hit by Adam until they had a little girl, and then Pops dumped on the little girl. So it's, I mean.
But that's why I said we got to get out the book. Now let's get out the book. Now that's why I said, can 2 men have a baby? Let's say in the beginning of time, we know it had to be a woman, because only woman give life. It had to be a man to come about to help her give life. So at the end of the day, name me a time. Do you think the world started off with 2 women? And if it did, tell me, how did life continue to go on? You think the world started off with 2 men? If it did, could tell me, how did the life continue to go on? Only thing that makes sense to me, if a man and a woman have sex, they continue to create, and it's constantly keep happening. But it didn't start with just Adam and Eve. It started with a whole community of people. Why would God just create 2 people? That'd be nothing but incest. That's why all this look differently. He created Spanish people, created white people, he probably created all types of people. But if you want to do things cool, there's enough heterosexual people out here to keep it going, to keep things.
And that's what I'm trying to tell you, Mallory. We sit up here and we judge, but we have to understand that Adam and Eve, God created Adam and Eve. He created Eve from a bone from Adam. And then where did the world start populating from there? That's all I'm asking. Yeah, you understand what I'm saying? But we want to sit here, and judge a gay person, a homosexual. No, we gotta go. It's deeper than that.
Who's judging?
No, I'm not saying you. I'm saying society. Society's
not judging.
Society accepting the,
society accept it. So at the end of the day,
now they are.
It's
Yeah,
us
man.
that's going against it. But I'm gonna tell you like this. I'm against it. I'm stuck in my
You had
way.
it right.
God has made woman for man, and I can't see it no other way. Um, my whole thing is on this whole subject before we end that we as human beings, we are the problem. And just the bottom line, um, when he made us, the problem came upon the earth. And because we always want to be right. We always want to be, yeah, that's my word, and I'm standing on it. But at the end of the day, I can't answer your questions,
I know
Miss
you
Hurst.
can't.
I can, but I'm not because they're gonna go to something else, and I'm trying to stay on topic. So the thing about it is that we as human beings, we all gonna fly away, and at the end of the day, don't nobody know their destination. So at the end of that statement is that um, we're gonna end the show. I want you guys to give your comments because, and I appreciate you guys coming on the show, and I thank you guys for um, giving your wisdom and your knowledge because this was a good segment, and I definitely want to say that no free plugs today. So,
Hey, boss. Hey, boss,
so,
stop coming for me now. He just keep coming
so
for me
Get
I
that
just want to
money.
say
Get
thank you,
that
Miss
money.
Harris, for coming on the show today. I really appreciate you for your
Hey,
words of
Ron,
wisdom.
I gotta send you a book too. So send me your Mally, send me his information so I can send him a book, man.
I got you. I got you.
So, Miss Harris, I'm gonna let you end the show out, and then Molly gonna say his words. Go ahead, Miss Harris.
Uh, Only thing I'm gonna say is on that topic today, allow people to be who they are. No judgment. I have love for everybody. I don't care who you are. You can be blind, crippled, crazy, white, blue, purple, orange. You can be doing it to a dog for all I care. I'm gonna take you as you are, face value. I have a acronym and it says IVO. IVO means I value every life. So I love everybody. I don't care who you are. I'm not discriminatory. And on that note, I'm gonna say, again, stay masked up, people. Stay prayed up, and
So
that's how we gonna live our life.
I was going to mute you. Yeah, I was about
How much them shirts going for over there?
Get get Mally. Get Mally.
You got them shirts over there. Some joints there. No, that's one you got on.
Go ahead, Miss Harris. Go ahead, put your stuff out there, Miss Harris.
Yeah, I burnt, man.
Go ahead.
I always appreciate you, bringing me on, Ron. It's always good talking, Miss Harris. They say, man, when me and Miss Harris get on the talking, it's like, man, it's just, man, the views start coming in. They get to loving us, man. We always had good conversation. We always bounce off each other well. We don't never get mad at each other. Your opinion, my opinion. It's my opinion. But if I get out of here, I always tell people, man, I ain't got nothing against gay people. If you grown, you can do whatever you want. It just with me, it come to the kids. I think they shouldn't push it on kids. And like I say, it ain't just the gay stuff. I'm like this with gun violence. I'm like this with the Cardi B's and all that. Don't push our kids to be hoes. Don't push our kids to be gangsters, and don't push our kids to be gay. They shouldn't be thinking about relationships. They grow older and they want to be gay, then that's on them. I always feel like it's enough heterosexual people out here to keep the world going. If it came down to two gay people in this world, I hate it, because I think about reincarnation. I want to come back. So if that's the only way we coming back, as long as we reproducing and keep coming, hey, then that's what it is. But before we leave, I don't want to share the video, Ron. You could share the screen because I did
All
mention
right,
it.
send it to me.
That's already in here. I hit share, share
Okay.
video. You should see it at the bottom. I ain't
Well, I
gonna
don't see
share
it
the
yet, so it
video.
ain't come through yet.
It probably give it 1 second.
Yeah, it
You
ain't come
see it?
through. But I would love. Oh, here you go. It just came through. So
Yeah.
before we leave, we're gonna show this video,
Nah,
and
I ain't gonna
then.
share the video, Ron. I ain't gonna share the video because it's like 17 minutes.
Oh,
But
okay.
I just want to show people the title and stuff so they can see where to watch it. This just one of the kids I was telling you about, Miss Harris, that when he was young, his parents allowed him to make his decision, just like D Wade's son. He went in there and said, "Mom, Dad, this is what I want to do," and they let him do it. He became a girl, and then he grew older, and he fell in love with a girl. and it wasn't even that many years later. It's like 4 or 5 years later, and now he's so in love with this girl, and he done turned himself back to a boy. He looked like a boy, but sexually he ain't a boy, and it's nothing they can really do. He want to sue his parents. He don't know what to do, but he really feel like his parents did him wrong. Like they should never allow him to make a decision like that at such a young age. And he peed off. So that's why I say I like to go off just people experience. This a kid who actually did what D Wade's son did, and years later regretted. So a lot of people saying, well, D Wade's son, when he get older, he got to live with it. This one kid that's living with it, and he's hating it right now. He hate his life right now. And that's why I feel like any kid, I don't care what they want to be. If they want to be strippers, hoes, gangsters, gays, whatever, let them decide when they get an adult, when they up the age to think for themselves, and they can take care of themselves. That's how I feel about it. That's the end of that, though.
That was good, Molly. That was definitely good. Man, you kind of summed it up right there, for real, for real.
And see, it's a flip side of that too, Ron, because I have a nephew, and I wish he could be on the show. But I have a nephew at an early age that he showed very much tendencies of being gay, and his mother suppressed that. And to this day, he will get over here and say, "I'm mad that my mother didn't." So it's always a flip side. I'm mad that my mother didn't allow me to come out because I could have been something real positive. You understand? So it's always the pros and the cons. That young man that you showed, Mally, he was, unfortunately, he regretted it. But, the regret can come on the other side just as well.
But did it hurt your nephew for coming out later? If he was a kid and came out, he'd have felt so much better. It's wrong that his mother suppressed it. She should have talked to him, got him somebody to talk to, or like explain to him why he felt in those ways. I ain't explaining that, but his life continue on. He can continue to be who he want to be. He decided he want to be this, but for this kid, he don't want to be that no more. He want to be a male, but he can't do that because this thing was chopped. It's okay to feel that ways and talk to him, but to take his sex change, that's the only thing I'm talking about. These kids shouldn't be allowed to make that decision. He ain't say, "Mom, I want to get my thing chopped off." He just like, "Mom, I like boys. I might be interested in boys," but to let him allow, I don't even know if he have that now. A lot of guys out here, all these guys ain't walking around here with sex changes. They just gay, so this not normal for a kid to do, So I encourage no parent to do that on their kid. Let him grow older. He decide to have a sex change. I won't even say gay. I'd rather for him to be gay at a young age than actually have a sex change, because he can always change his mind. That's the part that I'm sticking on. Just really the sex change part. If he decide he want to be gay early on, that's better. But the sex change thing's too far.
Understood, Mally.
That's unreversible.
I mean, my whole thing is, I think the mother thought she was doing more good than harm, as far as suppressing it, because she was looking at his safety. And she probably had some incidents where she saw somebody get killed, come to find out their son was in that lifestyle, and she probably looking at it from a safety reason, and she knew he couldn't make his own decision. So my whole thing is, I don't condone. I don't condone as far as you taking somebody's life and you find out because they're gay. I think that's wrong. But you got a lot of bruised ego. They don't think about that when you was about to sleep with that trainer, when you was about to sleep with Bill. They ain't thinking about that. All you think about is how quick get a quick nut. But then when you find out Bill is toting more than you want to get in your feelings, ready to kill Bill. So at the end of the day, we as human beings got to understand one thing. We all are gonna make some mistakes. My heart goes out to any transgender, anyone that lost their life to the lifestyle that they want to live, because that's the consequences once you get in a lifestyle, because that's a dangerous lifestyle. Because I know someone, brother was gay, and he wanted to break up, and the guy told him no and killed him by pouring acid in his face. So that lifestyle come with consequences. You're not just gonna think just you're gonna go with another guy and splurge with each other and do stuff with each other, and don't think, because somebody's feelings are intact, hard. Somebody gonna fall in love more than the other, and when you talk about breaking up, then that's when all go down here from there. So
that's just not targeted to gays, Ron, because there are a lot of heterosexual people out here that's killing,
Miss Harris, don't be like those other people just with one word and then attack it.
No, I'm not saying.
Get to the whole content.
No, I just want the whole content, Ron. No, seriously, I just want to know. I want you to know that that's around the board. That people killing each other is around the board, because I know that there are some heterosexual relationships, and I've seen it a lot, where a guy don't want to let this girl go, so he go out and kill her. You understand? So we don't want to make it that it's just,
No, we just talking about the topic. I'm keeping it on topic. I'm not. I get outside of
that pretending that she a girl, them type of murders. But yeah, she right. Them.
I mean, it is right. It's right because it's happening. And I know somebody that was in that happened to them. But what I'm saying, I want to keep it close to topic. I mean, I get what you're saying, but I want to keep it close to the topic.
And the only reason I'm saying that, Ron, is because I know that there are people listening, and they're probably saying the same thing that I'm thinking, like, oh, it's not just gays, because I don't want gays to be offended that we think that it's just them that's because they're locked into a gay relationship that they're murdering. No, that kind of murdering goes on around the board. So, but I understand we can stay on the topic, but I just wanted to, throw that out there too.
I got you, and I respect that. So, once again, I want to thank you guys for coming on. We're going to end this show, and Miss Harris, you did. You're always welcome on the show. You're always welcome.
I ain't got no more plugs, Ron. I don't got no more plugs. I'm out.
Thank you, guys. You guys have a good one.
Hey, Ron, love you. Mally, love you.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you.